Mihai's second sortie was designed to calculate how his physiology changed under the stress of combat. My job was to compare his performance as a pilot now to when he was younger and understand how his skills evolved. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore. For a man his age, Mihai's body was unbelievably resilient, remarkably flexible. His reflexes were sharp as they ever were. Still, after all those years of flying in the outer layers of the atmosphere, even someone as strong as Mihai wasn't immune to the effects of the strain. The human body is fragile. It was not meant to handle the excessive amounts of radiation that constantly bombarded the stratosphere. For Mihai's second sortie, we used a flight suit that was still untested. He seemed fine on takeoff, but by the time he landed back at the base, it was clearly a mess. He got caught in a surprise dogfight with an especially stubborn enemy. It took a while for Mihai to bring him down.
Suspend mission.
The suit was ineffective. According to the data, it wouldn't let him fly to his full potential. A new flight suit was made to my exact specifications. When it finally arrived, Mihai's granddaughters glared at me with their disapproval. They blamed me for the pain their grandfather had to keep enduring. But Mihai remained stoic. He wasn't the type of man who cared about anything that happened here on the ground. I wasn't worried about it. I was confident the new suit would protect him thoroughly so that he could maneuver his plane any way he wanted. The moment he took off in his new flight suit, I realized what I had failed to before. Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before. Mihai hit the high G's multiple times before disappearing into the blue. The support team couldn't even keep up. And then I knew. I understood why he never seemed to care about restoring his stolen country back to its former glory, and why he didn't seem to care about anything that happened here on the ground. Of course, Mihai's kingdom was the sky.
The operation to capture Erusia's capital, Farbanti, is beginning. This is the culmination of our work. We need to capture the Erusian forces' general headquarters in the south of Farbanti and end this war. The plan is for ground troops to attack Farbanti from both the east and north, and a task fleet will attack from the southwest. We will secure air superiority over the capital, while providing air support for our allies on the ground and in the water as required. By all accounts, we expect this to be an intense, full-scale battle across land, sea, and air. Should you need to replenish your ammunition or make necessary repairs to your craft, a return line has been set up in the north. During this operation, we will also be tasked with having to destroy the communications satellites that Erusia hacked. If we take down the information communication system that we believe they have control over, it should plunge Erusia into chaos. Once the capital falls, the Erusian military will be isolated and thrown into chaos, making it easier for us to end the war. However, that can't happen until after the capital falls, so you guys are the stars of this battle. Erusia will fight like a tiger, but we cannot lose. We must seize the capital and end this war.
Fighter Squadron, proceed to runway. Sortie ASAP.
Our troops have engaged at Farbanti Reconstruction Park, Silver Bridge, and the submerged area. We need you to help our boys in those 3 locations. This'll end the war. It's time. Commence the operation. Our friends are waiting.
Lately, as your company commander, I felt some of you young bucks coming after my championship belt. You're really putting the pressure on me, so I think I'm gonna go out there and run up the score a little bit. Just to show you guys how it's done. I trust I can count on all of you to keep up. Let's get out there, take care of business, come back in one piece.
Strider 1, turn lines to the north. Head that way if you need to refuel. Good luck, everyone.
Fire, pay attention!
Count is back in the saddle as Cyclops 2. It's good to be flying with you again, partner.
Cute. Nah, it's real funny.
Strider 1, the men below you are to secure the Silver Bridge, but they can't break enemy lines. We have aircraft in addition to you, but our numbers are less than ideal.
Strikes in the sky. Too bad for those guys.
Say goodbye.
Target shot down.
Attacking. We've got flying walking around our heads. Don't take your eyes off them.
Missile! Missile! They have a lock on me.
Behind the enemy. Cyclops 1, missile!
Cyclops 4, Fox 2.
Strider 1, enemy on your 6.
Missile hit.
Use your familiarity to beat back the enemy assault. Careful. The roads are stuck in ships, make these waters shallow.
Oh yeah!
You can't debate luck!
Strider 1, locked on target.
Need more air support. You can't hold your breath much longer without it.
Missile overhead.
Strider 1, hostile has a lock.
Stay sharp.
Target is in machine gun range.
A missile got through our ECM. Shoot it! Enemy on our ranks!
Locked on. On the enemy's tail. Fox 2! Fox 2!
Call reinforcements! Damn it! We should have known it sooner! strikes during the break.
Missile.
Strider 1, missile.
We can't let the enemy take this
Strider
position.
1, tank
Kill them all. Black
Missile.
2.
Strider 1, hostile has a lock.
Keep an eye on your radar. All it takes is one missile and your history.
Roger. The mark will be secured. UAV shot clear the way.
I hit it. HQ, we're falling back. We don't stand a chance against their air support. Hold your ground.
Missile launched. Strider 1, target destroyed.
Picking up. Bandit in my sight. Lock on.
Target acquired.
Look at what's left of our forces. Damn that 3 strikes.
Boy, am I glad 3 strikes is here.
They got a friendly. All right, keep up the pressure. A chance of victory will present itself when they're on.
Launch 2.
Enemy behind you. Move to cover. You're mine.
The enemy striking back with everything they got.
The battle conditions are changing constantly. I don't like it one bit.
Hit on bandit confirmed.
Enemy reinforcements on radar. Take him out.
Hostile forces moving near any HQ. We don't have enough units to hold them.
Split up. The longer this drags on, the greater our losses.
Roger that.
Our strategy is about to pay off.
Hold them! Don't let them through!
Maintain course if you want to go back to resupply.
Sarge, tear down that barricade.
Strider 1, this is Control Tower. Make your landing check. Too fast. Lower airspeed. Bank right. Lower your nose. You're too high. Strider 1, this is Control Tower. The runway is clear?
Destroy the enemy's left lead, and then we can regroup.
1, missile away. Maintain course if you want to go back to resupply.
The attacks just keep coming! Don't let them through. HQ is right behind us. The missiles have got a lot of armament.
We're out of sandstone. We're pinned down.
That area is all yours, Strider. We're back at 1 squadron at the Silver Bridge.
Vessel confirmed sunk.
We've lost 30% of our fleet. It's going to be difficult to complete our mission given these circumstances.
The comms are full of requests for help from friendlies. Our occupation of Frabanti could be in jeopardy now.
This is the Torch. There are small boats hiding in the ruins. Take them out before they can approach the fleet.
Everyone's requesting backup. They'll take forever to get here. This is turning into an absolute nightmare. There's no end. Use GPS to locate allies.
Measure back. Where's free strike?
Target eliminated.
Thanks to our air support, victory is within sight. Let's turn the remaining enemies into shirt bait.
Steer clear of the sunken allied ships. Just how many did we lose?
Damn it, 3 seconds back. Trying to stop our advance. These guys just won't give up. Eyeball to Ostrich. Take care of Niner Sierra for us. Roger. We'll provide supporting fire along with Stork. Our target is Niner Sierra. Prepare the first volley. Ready. Fire! Show the enemy over. Firing.
Fall back 900 yards. Three strikes is here.
Eyeball, give us a report. You overstood it. Thanks for the fire support. Roger. Just about broken through the enemy's defense.
Trigger, I'm on my way to join you. My boys on the ground can finish up here. Understood. Understood. Ballcaster, I'm meeting up with Strider.
Roger.
Strider 2, Fox 2.
Reduce altitude. Right between the buildings.
Behind my target.
Now, support teams, open fire. Drive the enemy back. Take out these men.
Missile inbound. Missile inbound. Strider 1. Missile launched.
We must take advantage of this opening. We don't have enough ships left for organized combat.
3 minutes remaining.
Watch out for those enemy
We've
tanks.
spotted enemy backup. Check your radars.
Copy.
Trigger. It's about time we get up here and help other allies in trouble.
You don't need to try and target every enemy. Just keep your focus. Take one down and move on to the next.
Our allies aren't advancing as we hoped. This isn't good. Trigger!
Hit the areas where the enemy forces are thickest.
Squad 2, we've eliminated the enemy resistance. Squad 2 and 3 are making their way to HQ now.
Cyclops 1, Fox 2.
Enemy fleet is crippled. Friendly warships should be able to finish them off. 2 minutes remaining.
Don't let down your guard. The enemy will fight to the very end.
Fox 2. Breaking out of lock. Friendly aircraft lost.
Strider 1, missile away.
Did these guys really fight a battle before this? They just keep coming.
1 minute remaining.
Our tank commander's down!
Target confirmed destroyed.
Strider 1, enemy vessel destroyed.
Looks like we have the upper hand. Get your tide of battle in our favor.
3 seconds remaining.
We need that much to establish our position. Keep those grounds from all support they need.
Evade. Your air support considerably weakened organized resistance from the Erusian army. Operation nearly complete. Just need to see it through.
Understood. Understood.
All right.
Understood. Understood. Understood.
Hostile lockout, you Strider 1.
There's no way we're pulling back now. If they take our headquarters, we're finished.
Enemy missile coming at me. Breaking.
All aircraft, listen carefully. This is Lancaster. We have the upper hand. The enemy headquarters is almost ours. Operation to eliminate all enemy satellites also underway. All going according to plan. The end of the war is in sight. Think of something you'd like to eat, guys? Because I'm buying.
Roger that.
Man, don't jinx us.
You're right. New bogies. No, 5 Su-30s inbound.
It's Mr. Rex.
What's going on here? I don't believe it. We've just lost ship 3 and 4. We're taking heavy damage. It's like this monster is toying with us out there. We've got to do something.
LRSSG, we have an emergency order from Mission Command. Bring down Mr. X. I know it's a tall order, but HQ wouldn't ask if they didn't have faith in you.
There they are. It's the snowbirds. The 2 leaders are at a different level. Don't underestimate the rest of them either. This should prove to be fun. What do you mean? It's just like you say. The enemy has experienced fighters in their midst.
Fox 2.
Don't go at them alone. 2 or more on each target.
Strider 3. Missile. Missile.
Their ship is sunk. Single fighter coming back around.
Don't let Mr. X run wild. Friendlies are suffering heavy damage.
Warning. Missile in the air.
Locked on. On my target's back. Time to punch through.
Missed. What's this guy eating to fly like that?
Mr. X is eating through the Osean forces.
No, 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 no. Who are these guys?
Don't you sneak up. Bandit, right behind you. Shaking bandit.
Locked on.
You want a piece of me? You got it. I'm on my target's tail.
This is Cyclops 3. Sure. I'm hit. I gotta eject.
Took him out one by one. Cyclops 3 is bailed out safe. Don't worry, he's gonna make it. Listen, Trina, real talk. If we keep this up, someone's not going home. I'll act as a lure. Meanwhile, you shoot down Mr. X.
What? They got a lock on you, Strider 1.
Right, he grabbed the bait. Time to take him for a ride. Man, this is one stubborn bastard. He's on my tail, but he won't fire. Waiting for the perfect shot, eh? Sorry, stranger. My boys won't let you have it.
Enough with your air show, Wiseman. You're pushing it.
Oh, Cal, that's sweet. I never knew you cared.
Cyclops 4, Fox 2.
You're all grown up. I'll even let the wisecrack slide.
Hey, I'm being serious here.
Target acquired.
Locked on, you're mine.
Missile.
Missile is closing. Strider 1, break!
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Hostile has a lock.
Evading!
Hold up. My radar has shown that an enemy aircraft has been stuck on Cyclops 1 for a while now.
Makes my blood run cold to even think if he came up on my 6.
Missile.
Shit!
Missile. Missile. Missile.
He's refusing to fire. He wants a short shot. Not too bad. He's acting as a decoy. He has absolute trust in his allies, I see.
Missile did not connect.
You're quite the entertainer, but the show's over with this next shot.
Missile.
Wasn't a bad pilot. Wiseman! Missile closing! Missile will keep him on me. Just a bit longer.
Shit. Cyclops 1 is down.
Cyclops Wiseman! Eject already, Wiseman! I'm sorry, Count.
Missile.
This plane exploded.
Missile.
Wiseman! Stay strong. We're not done here. Cyclops 2, you've got the lead. Wiseman! Shit! Negative, Cyclops 2. You're the lead. I can't do it. Trigger should take command. The duty is yours. That's impossible.
Missile.
Do it.
Missile.
Damn it.
Missile.
Cyclops 4, form an element. We need our top gun if we're gonna take out that bastard.
We'll go count.
Target locked.
These guys are way out of my league. I can't even get in close to them.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile. 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 Missile.
I have a lock.
Good lord. All we can do is rely on our best pilot now.
Shit. This guy's too tough.
Missile.
I don't think I can take him on.
Missile. Missile.
In gun range. Missile evaded.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
I've got a sitting duck here. Damn, I can't seem to find an opening.
Locked on.
Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Missile.
Target acquired. Warning. Enemy has a beat on you.
Missile.
Now I see why he's the king of the skies.
Missile.
Trigger's our only hope.
Missile. 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 Missile.
I've got a sitting duck here.
Missile. Caution. Pull up.
Strider 1 has crashed.
What's going on here? I don't believe it. We've just lost ship 3 and 4. We're taking heavy damage. It's like this monster is toying with us out there. We've got to do something.
LRSSG, we have an emergency order from Mission Command. Bring down Mr. X. I know it's a tall order, but HQ wouldn't ask if they didn't have faith in you.
There they are. It's the snowbirds. The 2 leaders are at a different level. But don't underestimate the rest of them either.
Missile.
Mission proved to be fun.
Missile.
What do you mean?
Missile.
It's just like you say. The enemy has experienced fighters in their midst.
Missile. Missile.
Locked on.
Missile.
Strider 4, evade! Damn, even his lackeys fly like champions.
One ship is sunk. Single fighter coming back around.
Don't let Mr. X run wild. Friendlies are suffering heavy damage.
Missile.
They got a beat on you.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Fox 2.
Missile.
Enemy has a lock on me.
Don't go at him alone. 2 or more on each target.
Missile.
Mr. X is eating through the Ocean forces.
No. Who are these guys? think that'd miss. Caution, enemy has a lock. Enemy has a lock on me.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
They've got their flight envelopes nailed down.
I'm on my target's tail.
Missile.
Looks like they're on our tail.
Missile.
Bandit on your tail. Get some distance.
They hit with some soon after. That's the last we heard of it.
Not long before our forces were routed.
Cyclops 3, I've been hit. I gotta eject.
Missile.
Take them out one by one. Cyclops 3 has bailed out safely. Don't worry, he's gonna make it.
Missile.
Listen, Trigger, real talk. We keep this up, someone's not going home.
Missile.
I'll act as a lure. Meanwhile, you shoot down Mr. X. What?
Missile is closing. Strider 1, break!
Missile.
All right, he grabbed a bait. Time to take him for a ride.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Man, this is one stubborn bastard. He's on my tail, but he won't fire. Waiting for the perfect shot, eh? Sorry, stranger. My boys will let you have it.
I've got you. Enough with your air show, Wiseman. You're pushing it.
Missile did not connect.
Derek. Oh, Cal, that's sweet. I never knew you cared. You're all grown up. I'll leave all the wisecracks slide.
Hey, I'm being serious here.
Target is hit.
Nice, you're lying. Give him one more.
Missile.
Enemy's got a lock.
Missile inbound, evade!
You're quite the entertainer, but the show's over with this next shot.
Missile.
Wasn't a bad pilot.
Missile. Missile.
Wiseman, missile closing!
I'll keep him on me. Just a bit longer.
Shit. Cyclops 1 is down.
Cyclops 1 is down.
Eject already, Wiseman!
I'm sorry, Count. This plane exploded.
Wiseman, stay strong. We're not done here. Cyclops 2, you've got the lead. Wiseman! Shit! Negative, Cyclops 2, you're the lead. I can't do it.
Missile.
Trigger should take command. Duty is yours. It's impossible. Do it. Ah, damn it. Cyclops 4, form an element.
Missile.
We need our top gun if we're gonna take out that bastard.
Missile.
We'll go count.
Missile. Missile.
Damn, I want to go to Trigger's aid, but I can't keep up.
Fox 2.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Damn, I can't seem to find an opening.
Missile.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Missile. Missile.
Enemy on your back. Survive is hit. Sorry, I gotta bail out.
Stay out of my league. I can't even get close to them. Locked on.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Shaking bandit.
Good lord. All we can do is rely on our best pilot now.
Shit, this guy's too tough.
I don't think I can take him on.
Missile.
Missile hit.
Missile.
Damn.
Now go finish the job.
Get Mr. X, Trigger. Shoot it down, Trigger. You can do it. You're the only one who can.
Missile.
My radar suddenly turned off. What is it? Respond. My data won't update.
My HUD is
Damn it.
crashing out.
What was that?
I've lost radar contact. What's up?
Look at the sky. Towards the sun.
What is that?
A star? No. Maybe an explosion?
This is Sol Squadron, head home. It's not safe to stick around here if we lose our base.
Listen up. We've just lost our real-time connection with Mission Command. It's not just Mission Command. I'm not getting any response from outside our LOS. Farbanti is now under OCN control. The operation was a success. We didn't get the orders that should have come after the operational success. We'll guide you to the scheduled airport. All aircraft, leave this airspace immediately.
Negative. They've got a debt to pay.
Count, we all feel the same way.
Shit.
So Wiseman died for nothing.
This is a peacekeeping force forward base near Erusian territory. Other Allied aircraft have probably been forced to make emergency landings at other airfields. We don't know much. The mission to capture the capital is nearly complete, but we unfortunately have no intel. The enemy communication satellites are down, and we have confirmed the deaths of several Erusian leaders. But our enemy was smart. They had a similar plan. Our own communication systems were destroyed at approximately the same time. We have no idea when or if they'll come back online. Stand by for further details.
As far as the chaos we find ourselves in these days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Erusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones. Osea implemented long-range attacks to bypass them. So Erusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Erusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted. However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned. What kept the world relatively sane up to that point had been free-flowing data and information. But now, those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Erusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osea's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osea and Erusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osean convicts had rebelled. Rumors. It never ceased to amaze me that even at a crazy time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline, they can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them. But without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls, too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her, and I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
Erusia's communication networks have been down since their satellites were destroyed. Unfortunately, we are experiencing trouble too. All of Erusia has been affected, and we don't know when things will be back up and running. We're not even sure if this is Erusia's doing. Still, we will follow the strategy that was originally planned, and move on to the next operation after liberating Farbanti. Let's get to it. Since the war began, we've been receiving communications in secret from an officer in the Erusian army.
With the capital under our control, Erusia's radical element is losing support quickly, affecting the balance of power.
HQ is thinking of using the military officer as a way to gain leverage to settle peace negotiations. The officer is currently hiding in the outskirts of Anchorhead Bay, having joined up with support dispatched from the Osean army. The plan is that they'll take a standard vehicle to a rendezvous point at a harbor in the east part of the city, where a helicopter will be waiting.
I would like the new Strider Squadron to provide escort for the officer. Cyclops will remain at the base on standby to serve as defense.
With the communication network currently down in the capital, I very much doubt Erusia will be able to mount a regimented counterattack. However, it is likely that Erusia's intelligence department and the remaining forces who are aware of the officer's movements will interfere. Keep a close eye on the officer and make sure he stays safe. Our victory in Farbanti has given us a golden opportunity to finally end this war. Be safe out there.
Take note that our satellite-based IFF has become unreliable following the recent communications failure. As such, target ID will be done by processing the images from the infrared cameras on your aircraft. Objects will initially appear as unknown on your HUDs, but will be ID'd once you close in on them for a set period of time.
Strider Squadron, you're cleared to taxi.
To the unidentified Osean craft, this is Captain Carl of the Osean Army. Are you here for the escort? You're not the squadron I was expecting. Are you really friendlies? Over.
This is Longcaster. Airborne warning and control system for the Osean Long-Range Strategic Strike Group. Captain Carl, they're on our side.
And those two pilots we've heard about must be here too.
Okay, I hope you're right. Longcaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself.
There's no guarantee the Oceans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknowns caught in your cams to identify friend or foe. The process will be faster if you get a close-up, well-centered image.
Meanwhile, we just run if they shoot us, right?
Affirmative. Always identify your target before you fire.
War is something I'll never get used to, but tonight has been a total shock. The city under martial law, gunfire and the roar of jets echoing through the streets.
Give me Strider Squadron's IDs. Oh, and hand me that sandwich.
Which faction is the head of our organization? We need to know at once.
Entering the Anchorhead Bay area. Buildings will block your line of sight. Make sure to keep track of your objective.
How this war ends depends on this mission. I'm counting on it.
Understood. Strider Squadron, identify the unknowns along the route.
You guys have opened the trial before, leading our country even further into ruin.
It's Erusian.
They aren't responding aggressively.
General, if they're conservatives, they'll listen to us. The negotiations were a success, Lancaster. They've opened up a path for us. The more the merrier. We can't see the tops of the roofs from down here. Be on the lookout for enemy ambushes.
That's a confirmed kill. You are a true patriot.
We made it through the Anchorhead Bay area. We're heading along Highway 208 under the bridge. We're taking the coastal highway the next ramp.
All right.
ID'd as Ocean Forces. This is AWACS v LRSSG.
Our info has been updated.
Missile. 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 Missile.
What's wrong with drones? Whether you're a patriot or not, you're just too stubborn to change with the times. The General managed to convince them.
Listen, those that protect General Lafarge are the real patriots. Onward! We're taking fire from our own allies. Is this place under rebellion too?
There's a vehicle up ahead. It's gonna ask us to pay a toll. Get closer and find out if it's an enemy vehicle.
We'll go. Let's go.
We archived all the footage that we've shot when the communication networks come back online.
We need to remind everyone that there's no such thing as a clean war.
Signs of the clean warfare at the beginning of this war are now gone.
There's a vehicle blocking the road. No response to hail. It's the radicals. Nice work. That takes care of that one. We're heading for the highway. Thanks to you, we got out of paying that toll.
This is AWACS Argus. Those who can hear us are our allies. Your new orders are to dispose of Eduard Lavarth. The Ocean Army officer with him is an imposter.
We're almost at landfill number 7. If we can make it through, we'll be in arm's reach of the rendezvous at Grunder Park. Captain Carl, do you have the means to record this conversation? I wish to explain to you the situation inside Erusia. I'm sure the boys listening upstairs will record it. The open declaration of war, expanding the front lines, was all the work of some young Erusian officers. They were referred to as the Radicals, but there was an unseen force guiding them.
was technology they borrowed from the Belkans. They actually went to war. The performance of the attack drones exceeded their wildest dreams. And they were incredibly clean, which got public opinion and the opportunists within the military on their side. They even manipulated the princess. The Belkan technology advanced UAV research within the Erusian Flight Test Center by at least 10 years. They used the flight data from a former ace pilot to create drone AI, but to us it's no different than magic or alchemy. Airplanes are meant to be flown by human beings. Those of you listening in, am I wrong?
We're heading towards Gruner Park. Rendezvous point is a helipad on this man-made island. We'll ditch the car and take the helicopter from there. Shaking off enemy lock.
There are rumors of a military group calling itself the Free Erusians.
An unknown is blocking our scheduled route.
Or us. Got a bad feeling.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 4, Fox 2.
An aircraft was crashed. All three are to be shot down.
Ammunition 0.
I'm hit. Get this guy off my back. Fire on that vehicle.
The VIP is taking fire. His vehicle stopped.
Missile.
Ocean forces at landfill number 7. This is AWACS Lancaster.
Try to help us before we get shot. It's not like this is a tank or anything.
Captain Carl, we have a new rendezvous point. Your coordinates are as follows. 263 Tango 4, 199er Delta Lima. Rescue team says hostiles are making the area too dangerous.
Well, yeah, don't they know nowhere to see? Even in a time of war, it was a mistake to create something like a penal unit.
So?
Missile. Missile.
Our criminal's fall has led to another power struggle within the Erusian military.
It's all gone to hell. Radio chatters about the Civil War. Radio? You have one in your cockpit? Yeah, ever since my previous squadron. I've got it taped, nice and secure. We're about to cross Anchor Bridge. There'll be nowhere to hide.
That was something.
Caution. Caution. Pull up.
An armored vehicle's behind us. It's a vehicle used by the Erusian forces. Take it out! Trigger, our VIP is in trouble. Clear the way for him. The General is speaking with the Commander.
Please fire with the ocean aircraft. General orders. We're the only ones here on our side. Damn it. We're outnumbered. There were too many conservatives in the Air Force that hated the troops.
We've almost reached the container area. Watch out for enemy ambushes.
Understood. System failures caused friendly fire incidents among Ocean forces. There are even rumors of penal units turning on their former allies.
Listen up. From here on out, all aircraft are prohibited from taking off.
Shoot down any aircraft that approach us.
Missile.
What are you thinking?
Missile. Missile. Missile.
In gun range.
Take away. There are unidentified aircraft to the drones.
The General's vehicle is under attack. Our VIP is taking fire.
We're taking fire. We can't hold off.
Caution. Pull up. Missile. 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 Missile.
Weapons hold.
Prepare to fire on a moment's notice.
Missile.
Bandit has a lock.
Missile.
We made it somehow. Try to get off your ass a little faster next time.
Missile.
Digger, we've got one behind you. We're coming up on a tunnel. We'll need to split up until we reach the exit.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
More to Belkan technology than just UAVs. Thinking IFF designations for one was an astonishing feat. They used it to make drones that resembled Ocean fighters, and then to assassinate or blame on enemy fighters. But in the end, Arusi is responsible for Harlan's assassination.
Talking politics? That's new.
Can't ignore a story like that, right, Trigger?
The drones aren't receiving my orders. Can we switch the UAVs to slave mode?
Bad news. Hostile armored forces outside of the tunnel. Anyone you should go say hi. The general's down there.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Behind the enemy.
Missile.
Box 2, box 2.
Lock on, lock on.
Missile.
Missile inbound. Evade.
Missile. 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 Missile.
We're taking heavy fire. Concentrate your fire on the combat vehicles.
Strider 1, handgun destroyed.
Enemy on the lock. Well done, Bandit. Attack.
We were nearly done for. I couldn't have asked for better timing.
Nice. Glad to see the Oceans attacking the radicals. Maybe we should join up with them. It means getting rid of those assholes faster. Take out Penny and autonomous.
Regionalism is part of the infighting within these groups.
We've reached the industrial zone. This should be the new rendezvous point. The coordinates are up ahead. Take out any enemies in the surrounding area.
Officers from countries annexed by Arusia have taken multiple groups and declared independence.
How'd you last long, Caster? We've been briefed and we're here to help. Glad we waited. Don't worry, we won't let anybody through after you.
Almost at the rendezvous. Leave the rear to the others.
Understood.
The radicals truly believe boosted drone productions will make up for our losses. They shouldn't be taking responsibility for the capital's fall, but instead they're prolonging the war. That is why proper conservatives like myself are moving to regain control. If all goes well, we should be able to sign a truce with Osia quickly.
Missile. Missile.
Target is eliminated.
We've reached the rendezvous point. There's the chopper, too.
Who do we turn to in this darkest hour? We need a beacon of light to show us the way. This is the Arusia News Network.
Okay, let's go. Getting out of here. I've had just about enough of this place. I'd like to offer my thanks to the LRSSG. This should finally bring about a true end to the war.
Understood. Good luck. Multiple unidentified aircraft approaching.
This plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat. Please stand down.
What's going on?
Try to get a little closer. Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa. There's a girl on board?
He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No. Unless she's a soldier.
Weapon use is prohibited. We've checked footage. It does seem to be a transport with escorts.
I repeat, this craft is carrying civilians. We are not here to fight.
Dr. Schroeder, tell me what's happening.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, but do not attack the civilian liaison.
That's the aircraft my grandfather told me about. The one with the scratches.
There it is. The EASA liaison plane.
way down the wrong path.
Wait, unknown's attacking the girl's plane. Allcaster, permission to engage.
Negative.
What?
It could be Ocean fighters. ID them ASAP. ID complete. They're Erusian fighters. What the hell is going on?
Stay sharp.
Uh-huh.
Right, I'm shooting him down. Any complaints?
Granted.
Wilco.
Wilco.
Friendly shot down. How dare you interfere? I'm here to deal with that traitor.
Yeah, good work. Strider 1 has killed a bandit.
Careful, those guys are good. Wait, you don't think it's supposed to be big shots, do you? I managed to catch a glimpse of the 3 strikes.
Don't miss.
Aim carefully.
Mine.
Quick.
No good. Shit.
They're in my way.
I've got a sitting duck here.
Break! Eagle 5, taking enemy fire.
Missile evaded.
Eagle 5,
Bandit destroyed. Well done.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Nice kill.
Good work. All hostile aircraft eliminated. The liaison is safe. Wait.
The escort fighter is... the drive. They're missing the drive.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Liaison escort has a radar lock. They're targeting you guys.
What the hell? We were just helping them.
Erusian aircraft, this is AWACS Longcaster. Do not engage the liaison. Break off now.
Can you hear me on this channel, Ocean craft? Those escort aircraft are drones. They are currently being operated autonomously. They are not being controlled by anyone. They are flying on their own volition.
What?
In that case, we have no choice but to shoot the aircraft down.
Unfortunately, yes.
We did what we could. Weapons free. We were cleared to attack the escort.
Wilco. Understood.
Wilco.
Uniform MQ-99 launch! Our command's overridden! They must be accessing it remotely. Which unit is behind this?
Hey, it's not our fault they won't listen to reason. Why build something like that? Whoever did it is the king of all dumbasses.
To build something else entirely.
Target locked. Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Son of a bitch.
Headed this way! No. The escort must have used its remote activation rights to gain more allies. Clever.
Missile away.
Enemy on your back.
Target acquired. Target acquired.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 3 launching missile.
Missile. Missile.
Locked on bandit.
Missile. Missile.
3 bandits to go.
Missile.
I've got a sitting duck here.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Missile.
2 bandits left. Show them what you got.
Missile. Missile.
1 bandit to go. Target is in machine gun range.
Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Strider 1, that's what I like to see. Another story to tell my boy.
Understood. All hostiles have been eliminated. Nice. General's helicopter is flying safely outside Anchorhead Bay. All aircraft, RTB, mission complete.
All hostiles, huh?
General, the Ocean aircraft is here to pick us up. The approaching Ocean aircraft.
Losing his army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders. It should be a piece of cake.
Were you sent by the General's staff? No, we'd like you to send someone. I can't!
There are 3 scratches.
What does that mean?
The tail of that plane.
Lancaster, are all of these really unknowns?
In order to respond to the attack on the base, Cyclops has scrambled after being on standby. We'll head up too, once our planes are ready. Oh, and Labarth is dead.
What did you say?
Apparently, he was shot down by another Ocean aircraft after he left the area of operations. I mean, I know it was chaos, but still. At any rate, the sealed order operation has come to a close. We have no idea about a plan for going forward.
All we can do for now is watch our own backs.
What's up with the commander?
He's staying in his room. He's still alive, since we can hear him crying.
The island we went to was supposed to have been secured by the ground forces. They hadn't gotten a handle on things by the time we got there, so now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign. My job was to get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Osean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around, taking out their former allies left and right. I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Osean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate when the guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane. Passenger, not military. I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after him and shot him to pieces. He was my best friend. After all those speeches I gave about working together for peace, I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess? After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio. It still works!
I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
"You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness." Just what did you see here?
Okay, enough talk. Your opinions have all been taken into consideration. Beyond the seizure of Farbanti, which is important, and supporting the Erusian officer, at this point, I just don't know what our strategy is, or what our mission will be. Radio communication is still patchy for both the military and civilians, so we're getting zip from Mission Command about our orders. Still, with countless Erusian forces in the area, it's too dangerous for us to stay around here waiting for a miracle. Now, regarding Count's suggestion to think about self-defense, I think we should make a break for Tyler Island. It was a large Osean base before the start of the war. Count says his previous squadron took part in an operation to seize control of the island. It has the only base that will get us to the space elevator without refueling. It's also a transport facility for supply ships that provide drones and ammo for arsenal birds. For the Osean forces that are looking to reclaim the space elevator, those are two great reasons in its favor. If everything went according to plan, the base may already be in Allied hands when we get there. Though based on what Count told me about the island operation, it won't be easy to seize control.
If the ground troops have managed to open the bridgehead, the transport route to Osea for supply ships should be available.
With so much at stake, I can't imagine Erusea just giving it up without a fight. Things could really have gone bad.
Even if there are enemies left, they should be pretty easy to suppress.
I just want to go home, man.
Me too.
With that look on your face, Trigger, I know exactly what you want to do.
If Trigger's ready to kick ass, then so am I.
Damn straight. We're with you, Trigger.
It's decided then. Let's get all the aircraft and haul ass to Tyler Island. Although we can avoid the Arsenal Bird's anti-air network, there's still remnants from the Erusian forces. I want to get to the island without getting into any unnecessary combat. Pick a fast craft and fix it how you want. Pack for a long trip, but remember, if you drag your ass, you'll get left behind.
Strider Squadron, sortie ASAP.
This is Tango 2-3, pursued by multiple tanks and APCs.
They'll all go down if we don't pull back the landing craft. And what? Abandon Tango 2-3?
Something's not right.
Tango 2-3, we don't have the firepower to assist you. You're on your own.
Please, we need help!
Wagtail is on the Osean landing ship. What's going on? What did you say?
Multiple bogies inbound. Damn it. Prepare for anti-air combat.
This is the AWACS Longcaster. The aircrafts in your area belong to the LRSSG.
Allied aircraft. A retreating vehicle is taking fire. Requesting assistance.
Roger. ID complete.
Our air support is here.
Unknown
successfully identified.
Thank God. Friendly birds.
Strata 1, target acquired.
We're under attack!
Update us on Tyler Island.
Couldn't be worse. Our forces are scattered and on the run.
By Strider 1. They're on the run?
There are two waiting for retreating units here to carry them out to safety.
Shit! These are Oceans!
Tank is destroyed.
Do me a favor, Lancaster. Many of our allies are cut off. We need support and an escape route.
Understood. We'll do what we can. Let's help retreating Ocean forces. Take out any hostiles in their area. Don't engage till targets are ID'd.
The boots on the ground don't need more people shooting at them.
Thanks. It's absolute chaos out there. The Erusians are even starting to fight amongst themselves.
Well, now we know what's going on, but shit.
Watch your back! Fire! Fire at will! We need more ammo!
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Calling friendly birds! Take out the hostiles in our area! Get us out of this hellhole! We need help while we're still up and running!
Target eliminated.
There's more over here. The bodies of the Erusians. It was part of the fight. Look at that, they're all lined up. 3 strikes, count to 3, and the enemy's gone.
Our last vehicle has been destroyed. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving! Hit the gas and don't let up until we reach the extraction point! I don't want to see anyone, hostile or friendly! No, they're not combative. Some of them aren't away. I can guess what happened here. Really don't want to think about it. Damn those Erusian bastards! It's a blatant war crime! Take photos for evidence.
They're Erusian. Jesus, they're firing at each other. Just there's no norm around here?
It's all crazy people.
I just got the photograph. We'll head back to HQ soon. Just give us another 30 minutes.
Enemy has a beat on you.
The men say they want to at least get the children in the proper area.
We are in the middle of a mission to take back the mass driver. Supply ship is a munitions depot. It's highly combustible.
Our guys even took out the enemy's air support. What do we do now? Send in the tanks!
Gotcha, pal.
Allied retreat looks good. Strider 1, Fox 2.
Bring the anti-tank missile. Hit that heavy armor at the front line. Don't stop!
No pursuit team. We just need to buy some time. Hold them at bay until operation feeding time. Throw them away from the mass driver. Special security squadron is
Missile.
Help me! Gather all the wounded together.
Not bad at all, Trigger.
Missile.
Get in the landing craft! Many thanks, Lancaster. We didn't have to leave our boys to die.
Understood.
On my hearing.
All aircraft, search every nook of the island. We're not leaving anyone behind.
We only need an hour tops. We need the advantage to put the enemy down.
We can't even run. The enemy will shoot us in the back. Go with us. The enemy APC from there. Hear us! We're taking fire from multiple enemy tanks. Ambush, stay calm. Reform the ranks. It's fine if we take a little damage. We need to finish this fight now.
Missile.
We can't afford to take any more damage. Get out there and do something.
Missile.
whole operation is crazy. Stop whining.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Rendezvous? We don't even know where we are!
Missile. 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 Missile.
We're down to less than half our vehicles. This isn't looking good. We need help. Bring all the injured.
Wait, multiple bogeys from the east.
Missile.
Their timing tells me they're not here to bring good news.
We need to ID the bogeys. Take them down if they're hostile.
Understood.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Nice. Target eliminated.
Missile. Missile.
Bogies inbound. Escort fighters, we're counting on you.
Missile.
Should we fire? Even if we're not fired upon? Of course. Chase off the bogies! There's no way there are!
Missile.
Strider Squadron, you're near an armada of bogeys. Identify them.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Identification complete. It's Erusian bombers and their escorts.
Missile.
Count's prophecy has come true. Take out all bombers, or they'll flatten our allies.
Missile.
Plenty of civilian casualties as well. Precision bombing is impossible in these conditions. Maybe they know they can't. We're gonna drop them all.
Missile.
Watch yourself. These guys are working together to bring us down.
Missile.
Trigger, Ross, get over here quick.
It's not strong.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Grenade locked on.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
With such skill and precision, don't tell me this is OCM's infamous snowbirds.
The bombers are nearing the island. We're running out of time.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
These reinforcements are elite.
Missile.
Destroy the net target completely. We're signaling our break with Belka.
Strider 1, target acquired.
Behind the enemy.
Missile.
Target is in machine gun range.
They've taken out many of our aircraft. Use extreme caution.
Missile.
Don't aim. We're doing strategic bombing.
Missile. Missile.
More bombers approaching. Intercept them now.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Missile.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Missile. Missile.
Group base to 101. Work together to take them down.
Missile. Missile.
Intercept those bombers.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1,
Control,
man
this is
splash.
Flight Leader. All systems ready. We are a go for launch. This is Launch Control. The enemy is closing. Confirm launch readiness. Affirmative. This is our last chance for Operation Feeding Time.
Missile.
Launch Control. Roger.
Attention here.
The bombers are about to reach the island. Shoot them down now.
Target locked. Enemy on your back.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Bombs away! Bombs away! Radicals and Oceans can burn in hell.
Carpet bombing? They can't be serious. How many do they think they'll kill? We've lost contact with the Oceans on the island. We failed. Heads up retreating Osean forces. Take out any hostiles in their area. Don't engage till targets are ID'd.
The boots on the ground don't need more people shooting at them.
Thanks. It's absolute chaos out there. The Erusians are even starting to fight amongst themselves.
Well, now we know what's going on, but shit.
Calling friendly groups! Take out the hostiles in our area! Get us out of this hellhole! We need help or we're still up and running!
Missile.
Go with us! Can you see the enemy APC from there?
Missile. Missile. Missile.
This is Echo 13. Two tanks left, but they're running on fuel and low on ammo.
Missile.
Missile evaded.
Missile.
Ambush, stay calm. Reform the ranks.
Missile.
It's fine if we take a little damage. We need to finish this fight now. There's more over here. The bodies of dead people. Those people were part of the fight. Look at that. They're all lined up.
Missile.
No, they're not combatants. Some of them aren't even laying cease. I can guess what happened here. I really don't want to think about it. Erusian bastards. It's a blatant war crime.
Missile.
Take photos for evidence.
Missile. Missile.
Warning, enemy has a beat on you.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Our only allies, the Erusian government forces. Don't mistake them for rebels.
Get out of here, hurry. Just got the photograph. We'll head back to HQ soon. Give us another search. The men say they want to at least get the children in the proper burial.
I'm out of the fight. Failing. Shit, it's 3 strikes. We're sitting ducks out here.
All aircraft, search every nook of the island. We're not leaving anyone behind.
This independent special security squadron is demanding to be let into the base. Shit.
Gather all the wounded together.
Target destroyed.
Locked on.
We're outnumbered, taking heavy losses. We can't even run. The enemy will shoot us in the back.
Don't press it too deep. We just need to buy some time. Open the bay until Operation Feeding Time. Move them away from the mass driver.
Missile.
Strider 1, Fox 2.
Missile. Missile.
The
Missile.
Erusian ground forces show no sign of letting up. We're taking heavy damage.
Caution. Pull up. Missile. 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 Missile.
Can you hear us? We're taking fire from multiple enemy tanks. Push them back. Fire! Fire at will! We need more ammo!
Caution. Missile. 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 Caution.
Strider 1, target destroyed.
Missile. Missile.
Should be enemy position!
Missile.
God, the artillery fire's got a number on my hearing!
Missile.
multiple bogies from the east.
Their timing tells me they're not here to bring good news.
We need to ID the bogies. Take them down if they're hostile.
Understood.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Bogies inbound. Escort fighters, we're counting on you. Should we fire?
Missile.
Even if we're not fired, boss?
Missile.
Of course.
Missile.
Chase off the bogies!
Missile.
There's no way there are!
Missile.
Almost there!
Missile.
Commence operation, no return! These are unguided. Stay on course.
Strider Squadron, you're near an armada of bogies. Identify them.
Visual. Like an eagle. Enemy on your back.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Identification complete. It's Erusian bombers and their escorts.
Count's prophecy has come true. Take out all bombers, or they'll flatten our allies.
Plenty of civilian casualties as well. Precision bombing is impossible in these conditions. Maybe they know they can't. We're gonna drop them all.
Missile.
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 Work together to take them down.
Missile. 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 Missile.
I'm on my target's tail.
The bombers are nearing the island. We're running out of time.
Missile. Missile.
Related co-conspirators also have much to answer for.
Target acquired.
Missile. Missile.
Missile inbound. Jinking.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Flight leader, all systems ready. We have a direct launch.
Missile.
This is launch control. The enemy is going in. Confirm launch readiness.
Missile.
Affirmative. This is our last chance for operation meeting time. Launch control, roger that.
Hang in there.
Only half the bombers remain. We can't let even one get away.
Enemy on your back.
More bombers approaching. Intercept them now.
I'm on my target's tail.
Strider 1, missile launched. All enemy bombers have been destroyed.
We did it.
Continue with your mission.
Try to save your ammo. Clear them in and then fire at once. We need help. Bring all the injured.
Strider 1, target destroyed. ID complete. Strider 1, we've identified the unknown targets.
I count 12 dead bodies here. They seem to be upper middle class. The spaceport's nearby, so they could be researchers and their families. Most likely, they were involved in Delta.
It's the Ocean military.
Don't they know they're on the same side?
We'll be firing at each other.
This is AWACS Longcaster. We're uploading the latest ID data. Check your TAC terminal.
Hold your fire! I confirm. The info is from an allied AWAC. Hold your fire! Roger. Hold your fire! Where are we supposed to lead? Who should we follow?
You guys got out alive. You have time to figure it out.
Three strikes, count to three, and the enemy's gone.
Our last vehicle has been destroyed. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving! Hit the gas and don't let up until we reach the extraction point! I don't want to see anyone, hostile or friendly! They did it! We're moving out! Leave the cat behind! We'll come back to this island one day and send them off properly.
Enemy on your back.
Thanks, but will we make it in time?
A landing ship is waiting for you.
Right, and leave the wounded. This will
there's still one arsenal bird left. If we can fill it full of bombs, then Eruzia will have a fighting chance.
Echo 13, all hostiles are down.
Understood. This is our last chance. We'll see how far we can go.
Use cameras to track the supply ships. Don't fight with your backs to the supply ship. If you take, we're done for.
Pick up the speed with your search. The faster you find them, the more people we can save.
Get in the landing craft. Many thanks, Lancaster. We didn't have to leave our boys to die.
Understood.
Our guys took out the enemy's air support. What do we do now? Them in the tank!
Allied retreat looks good.
Hey, you. Dumbass with the scratches on his tail. You hear me? I need you to help some people. There's a group of refugees surrounded by Erusian tanks right here. Needless to say, their future's not looking too bright.
This is a secure military line. Who is this?
Me? You can call me the Scrap Queen.
Lancaster, she's an ally. Trigger and I'd know that voice anywhere.
That voice. So you're still breathing, Sir Count.
Here, let me have a word. Hey, it's been a while. I had a feeling the two of you were still alive. Remember, stick with Trigger and you'll make it.
I have a bit of intel for you. We'll share it if you can help these refugees.
Count me in.
That's right.
We've destroyed all of the targets. All bogies should be ID'd now. Mission complete. Okay, Scrap Queen. Send us the target coordinates.
I'm thinking about how I'd do that.
Don't you have a laser target indicator?
Why would she?
No kidding, sir. And who's taking this to the enemy's doorstep? Not me. Wait, you moron! Wait! What are you doing, dumbass? Here! Attack right here!
Lancaster, we've confirmed the location of the flare.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile. Missile.
Jeff and Fletcher running low.
Missile.
Good job! The enemy tanks are close. I don't think I could even do anything with that scrap.
Everyone knows it. No other reason.
Hurry! Get moving!
Caution.
They're not refugees. They're criminals. Not down.
Roger that. Make them stop singing!
Damn it.
That's them. All aircraft, we just updated your threat matrix via data link. Take out those targets.
Don't miss. We don't want to hit the pretty ladies down there.
Missile.
Hurry!
Missile.
Target acquired.
Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Nice job! The enemy tanks are toast. I don't think I could even do anything with that scrap.
Missing away.
Missile.
Why do they sing that song? Everyone knows it. No other reason.
Confirm destroyed. Strider 1, target destroyed.
That took care of them. Master, a promise is a promise. Here's the intel. I heard it from an Erusian soldier that defected. The supply ships will be launched soon.
Yeah, that is valuable information.
That doesn't sound good.
But can it be trusted?
Not sure. Heard it from a man who said he wanted to atone for his sins. Up to you to trust him or not.
Understood. Good luck.
Releasing safety. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. 1, 2, 3. The mass driver is accelerating.
The supply ships have been launched from the mass driver. If the supply ships make it to the arsenal bird, they'll be able to resupply it. They may be loaded with new weaponry that we don't even know about. We have no choice but to take down the supply ships before they can get within the arsenal bird's air defense network. You've got to hurry or you're not going to make it. 3 minutes to the enemy's air defense network.
Missile.
All aircraft, remain on high alert.
Missile.
We got bandits incoming on radar. You're gonna have to forget about them for now. Focus on destroying that supply ship first.
We're sitting ducks like this.
Let the supply ship get too far away, we'll never be able to catch it.
Which one first?
Don't try to follow after the supply ships. Stick close to trigger. The target's using cloud cover to hide itself. Don't worry, we know where it's heading. Just avoid the enemy's fire for now.
Okay, but we won't be able to do that forever, you know.
I hope the payload gets delivered to the arsenal bird.
Did you see that explosion? Looks like that's one of them down.
Remember, there are 2 supply ships out there. Hurry up and shoot the other one down. Trigger, you're gonna lose it. Fly at full speed. We've recalculated the remaining time. 90 seconds to the enemy's air defense network.
Don't lose them!
The Ocean pilots are chasing the supply ship hard.
60 seconds remain.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Missile hit its target. Everybody, keep a safe distance to avoid getting caught in the explosion. Hope you're all enjoying the pretty fireworks. If this thing had any windows, we could have seen it for ourselves. Nice work, team.
We're gonna find ourselves a boat and leave this island. We'll be taking the refugees, along with any deserters from the Erusian military.
Who's the girl that ran at the tanks with the smoke canister? A few more crazies like her, and life down there may have been a tad bit easier.
What do you think would have happened to those refugees if you hadn't intervened? The princess saw what happened. They were little kids.
That's why I like the sky. You don't have to see those types of things.
Does this mean we're that much closer to ending the war?
No, we just basically prevented it from going on forever.
Count's right. We have no choice but to return to our original base. Our base that is nearly out of food and fuel. We need to do something.
Good. Take a seat. Everyone's here. All right. Good work in sinking the supply ships. Not to mention saving the refugees. However, we're in no position to start celebrating. Even the commander here is starting to fray from the stress.
Can't say I blame him.
Now, Tyler Island is in a state of complete anarchy. This base isn't safe either. The faces you see around you are the only friends we've got. Take a good look.
We found a boat, then sailed away from the island. We had to. We didn't belong there. The new guy's name was George. I noticed when the anarchist said his name, he said it with a thick Belkan accent. How did you know that he was from Belka?
Well, both my parents were from Belka, so...
You never told me that. They say that Belkans are known for their conspiracies.
That's just a stereotype. Now, I simply stated my honest opinion and was thrown in jail for it.
The princess sat there looking miserable. That was a dumbass stunt she pulled back there, but it got us on this boat. Take a look at that. This ship is heading for a single rope that's hanging down from the sky. Do you know how far the end of that rope reaches?
Outer space.
No. It is a direct connection to the very potential of mankind itself. Or at least it was until war erupted.
It's my strong belief that the rope might be connected to a very distant, faraway source of great conflict and strife. Even long before the war, the whole world started falling apart once Harling began trying to build it. I often wonder what was going through Harling's mind when he was trying to destroy the very thing that so many people were sacrificed in order to create.
Sacrificed? What do you mean?
Have you seen all of those countless old space shuttles on Tyler Island that are no longer in use?
Yeah. I always thought of them as a good source of scrap. They're an obsolete technology that was abandoned during the construction of the space elevator. Which would mean that if the space elevator was destroyed, it would be that much harder for mankind to reach the stars. Until we find another way.
But even then, Harling still went ahead and tried to destroy it. At the cost of his own life.
That's not the way I heard it. What I heard was that he sacrificed himself to protect the tower from an incoming missile.
Oh, I was told he tried to fly his ship into the tower in order to destroy it.
I wonder which story is true, Your Royal Highness.
I don't know. Looking at it objectively, it's reasonable to believe that Harling had both options before him.
When it comes to which one you think he took, I guess it's like a mirror.
Yes, it is. It's like a mirror looking into your own soul, based on whichever choice you believe it was. At the moment, though, I can only see darkness. I think that thing should be destroyed.
It's time for the briefing. Although, since we don't have any contact with HQ, it's not like this is an official mission. Anyway, it looks like the seizure of Tyler Island and the relief from Osea have been postponed. In the meantime, we just have to do what we can to survive. Since losing its capital city of Farbanti, Erusian forces have separated into smaller, autonomous factions. It looks like Erusia's largest force and leading faction will pass through the area around this base. The space elevator is significant to them, so they're probably heading there.
Should we intercept?
Why? I doubt they're gonna start a fight now.
Our top priority should be to get home. Let's go already.
Yeah. It's not like we have the supplies, power, or even a real reason to put up a fight. But what are we going to do if they bring the fight to us? We need to be ready to push them back. If we head inland from here towards Aruja, there's an old castle that's been converted into a stockpiling base. Shalaji Castle. It's currently occupied by some of the Arusian forces that broke off, but we need ammo and fuel. They appear to have converted a freeway into a runway, so we can expect them to have the capacity for air combat. But they'll be easier to handle than Aruja's lead faction. Well, we can't use all our aircraft to attack. The transport carrying the stolen supplies needs support. Okay, Strider Squadron. You head out first, and neuter the dogs at the stockpiling base. Rendezvous with Cyclops Squadron, who will bring the transport. Then we bring the supplies back to this base.
Got it.
Aircraft are our only threat.
Sounds good.
We'll make it. We're all gonna fly home. Together.
Strider Squadron, aircraft prep complete. You're cleared to taxi.
No Osean forces are in the region ahead. No allies here. No need to ID your target. We've set a number of priority targets, focusing on their anti-aircraft weaponry. Okay, team, get to work.
Unidentified aircraft, not sure if friend or foe. Fire anyway. We don't have time to be wondering if they're friendlies or not.
So, we capture this base and take the fuel and supplies. That's the plan, right, Trigger?
You take if you want to live. That's how it was where I grew up.
I was just double-checking mission orders, Hushin.
Our anti-air guns are destroyed. Abandon and fall back to our rear position. Retreat! Fire the SAM at once!
Target destroyed.
There are more vehicles along the road. They don't appear to be military. They're Erusian refugees. They must be fleeing since the conflict got worse.
Unidentified aircraft. Identify at once or we'll open fire.
But what is he talking about? They already are firing on us. The enemy's confused. I know.
Strider 1, missile launched.
Locked on.
We're all out of ammo. Don't give up. We're not going to lose our country again. It's that squad with 4 fighters.
So what's this faction split from the Erusian military?
The autonomous state of Shalaji used to be a nation. The region has always leaned towards independence. Those who want to restore their homelands flock to it. Apparently, their core consists of officers from Vaslij, which neighbor in Shalaji.
Are they our enemies?
They're our enemy's enemy, but not our friends.
Caution.
They're bombing us. We're unable to use the SAMs. Help me! Don't stop the
The resistance is strong. They seem pretty desperate.
Breaking! Breaking! Ally has been shot down. Black 2. Hit them with AA shells, they'll come down.
Vehicle confirmed destroyed. Fox 2. Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Why aren't our planes up in the air? Ahead! They have more aircraft! More planes incoming! Fire more missiles!
Coming up on the castle.
Caution.
Let's hurry up and capture this base so we can get its fuel and supplies. Shit!
I feel like we're a group of burglars.
Don't say that. This is for our survival.
Yeah, I know.
Strider 1, target acquired.
That's Shalaji Castle on you.
They're here already. They can pay for what they did to our scouts. Take in both civilians and refugees without discrimination. Get away from the scope buildings and take shelter cover security or underground. Drop where you are and cover your head if you hear jet engines.
Missile. 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 Missile.
They're targeting our anti-aircraft weaponry. Now more than half. There are 4 enemy aircraft, but one is causing us the most grief.
I heard about 3 strikes when I was in the east. What do we hear?
These guys are blinded. Shit! We still have plenty of missiles left, but the launcher is toast. Please, somebody answer us!
Vehicle confirmed destroyed.
Sam is out. We're running out of ways to strike back.
Strider 2, Fox 2.
All of our infantry fighting vehicles and tanks are gone. We've lost more than half of our forces. The battle won't last much longer. Let them have our lives. As long as our nation stands, the young will carry on.
Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile. Missile.
Target destroyed.
Missile. Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Missile. Missile.
Locked on.
New hostiles. All aircraft confirmed.
Missile.
This town is of high cultural value. It's unfortunate we had to bomb it like we did.
Missile.
We do what we need to survive, right?
Not something I'll tell my son about.
Locked on, bandit. Hey, it's going! We're setting ducks! Cancel takeoff. Soul Squadron, stand by.
Negative. This battle's over if we don't get up there. We're on with hope of restoration. Don't worry. As long as we accelerate inside the tunnel, they won't be able to shoot us down that easily.
Missile. Missile.
Locked on.
Missile.
Their interceptors are in the air.
All right.
Getting to takeoff speed inside the tunnel is insane.
Soul Squadron, airborne. Shoot the invaders out of our skies. Good luck, Soul Squadron.
Understood. You are in violation of Shalaji airspace. Turn around or we'll be forced to shoot you down.
This is the Ocean Long Range Strategic Strike Group. Land immediately and hand over your planes and base to us.
You must be the snowbirds. It's absurd for you to be talking so tough after losing one of your leaders at Levante.
You bastard!
Missile.
You defile this country. As long as you're here, this country will never know peace. Shit.
Punch 2!
Take it, bandit.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Soul Squadron, enemy of Snowbird's leader to King.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Strider 2, Fox 2!
Missile. 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 Missile.
Let's finish him before King gets here.
Strata 1, target acquired.
Missile.
Target was not struck.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Shoot him just like we told him to.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
Locked on.
Missile.
We just need to buy ourselves some time.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Missile away.
Bring it on. I'm more than a match for you.
Stall warning.
Missile inbound. Drinking. These guys are pretty good.
Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Missile.
Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Missile.
What the hell do you know about Wiseman?
Missile.
Target locked.
Missile.
Fox 2.
Missile. 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 Missile.
take care of them. Understood?
Don't underestimate them just because Mr. X is
launched.
Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Missile. 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 Caution. Missile. Missile.
In gun range.
Missile. Missile.
Bandit has a lock.
Missile. Missile.
I'm on my target's tail.
These guys expect us to surrender? I'll kill them myself.
Missile.
Enemy on your back.
I'm out! Ejecting! I hope he's okay. Bailing out under those conditions. I can see his parachute. Let's pray he makes it to safety.
3 to go. Don't let them work together. Back up trigger.
Wilco. Righto.
Target hit.
Don't let him get under your skin. Target locked.
Missile. Missile. Missile.
They think they're a band of knights. I hate them even more. They think they're actual nobility. Alright, I'm a wild gunman, man. Time to shut your mouth.
Enemy has a beat on you.
Missile. Missile.
Enemy on your back.
Cole's been hit. He's ejected.
Missile.
Damn. We can't even last long enough to buy ourselves some time. As expected, but a lucky shot would be boring.
It's some kind of energy weapon. No, it's a railgun.
Strider 1, you have a bogey approaching at high speed. Bearing 090, straight from the east. High-speed projectile launch from enemy aircraft.
I'm testing this aircraft. You must find your own sky. We can still help you. Don't waste your life. Dedicate it to reclaiming that which you call home. Furthermore, you must find someone to guide you. I'm not that person. Mihai.
Missile. Missile.
Hostile team squad will be retreating. Those fighting below are advised to temporarily withdraw. Don't die. As long as we're alive, our hopes and dreams live on.
Missile.
Hey, look at the color of that plane. Damn, that's the flames of hell. Time for payback.
Negative. It's no good. I can't get close enough.
Leave it to Trigger. The rest of us will just get in the way. The rest form a perimeter to catch whatever slips through. Wilco, might just cost us our lives.
Missile.
90%.
Someone to guide us. Wait, I can't think of anyone other than you.
Targeting collision.
Being together with Mihai taught me something. Drone fighters don't evolve. They have no place in the cosmos of the skies. And they're what the most legitimate Air Force should be fighting against.
Hey, look. It's like the sky's been sliced wide open. The experimental unit probably made themselves a new toy.
Missile.
just seems like another ordinary day for him.
Watch your remaining missiles.
100%. Targeting correction, 0.8 degrees. Targeting correction in progress.
The railgun is firing again. Bad news. Its accuracy is increasing with each shot. Take it down as quickly as possible.
Not bad.
Hit on unidentified aircraft. The enemy's mobility is still unfazed. Keep up the attack.
Power at 50%.
What do you think of this?
Strato 1, target acquired.
100%. Targeting correction, 0.02 degrees. Positional prediction complete.
The railgun has been fired.
Beyond the limits of machine assistance, I say.
Missile.
You're quite the entertainer, but the show's over with this next shot.
Unidentified aircraft. Land your plane and surrender. Why do you feel the need to continue fighting on your own?
That's funny. It seems like one of your pilots is also fighting alone.
He's not alone. Look around you.
I see. Perhaps it would have been best to entrust the future to pilots like that. Let me test him then, to see if he's truly worthy.
Missile.
Strato 1, missile launched.
In a way that minimizes the damage even when he's hit. Keep firing going
Cooldown complete. System power at 50%.
In gun range.
120%.
Target acquired.
Warning, braking control deactivated. Ready to fire.
Railgun has been fired.
Watch your opponent carefully.
Cooldown complete. System power at 50%.
You're almost there.
120%. Warning, braking control deactivated.
Railgun has been fired. Missile away.
This weapon is not enough to take down 3 strikes. This aircraft is my body. If they are not enough, then I must put my soul into it.
Stall warning.
There are pilots like you in every generation. And I've felled every last one of them.
Strider 1 scored another hit.
He's still flying, but his plane's been damaged. Finish him off, Trigger.
Missile.
His movements.
Missile.
I knew it.
Missile.
Mr. X moves like the drone I saw in Bulgararest. Maybe you've got it backwards. Maybe the drone is the one that moves like Mr. X.
There's gonna be copies of him flying around?
We'd be lucky if they're only in the dozens.
Missile. Missile.
vessels. It's a hit. The unidentified aircraft is going down.
He got him. Trigger has splashed a bandit.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 strikes. This was all due to my ego. I unleashed pure chaos upon this world, just so I could keep my wings. Put a stop to the drone production.
Is this a message to Trigger? What does it mean?
I don't think this war is over just because we shot down Mr. X. Yeah, it's gonna take something else entirely to end this thing. I just don't know what.
The resupply went well. We should be okay on food and fuel reserves for a little while at least. Luckily, the rumor that the Erusian army is advancing nearby is only a rumor. There's no sign of them from the skies. Rumors, rumors, rumors. This is what happens when you lose communications. But we got one good fact. The plane Trigger shot down was an advanced model of the XO-2 Wyvern. It was developed in the last Continental War. Erusia had a lot up their sleeves. Apparently, they were even supposed to have Belkin aircraft back in the First War. What if Trigger couldn't shoot it down? Just thinking about it gives me chills. We're lucky to be here. In war, you never know what's lurking behind the curtains. But it looks like everything's loose now. Solid chain of command, rest periods after sorties, a battlefield where you know friend from foe. All of that's gone now, lost in a fog of confusion. Feels like a distant dream. Now, just how the hell are we gonna get out of this mess?
When we got to the mainland, we found the space elevator's support facility. I guess this was the factory where they built the gigantic structure the elevator traveled in. There was this little girl sitting in front of a mural. When the princess saw her, she shuddered like she'd seen a ghost. The girl had a stuffed animal. This was the day after the shit went down at Tyler Island. She walked right up to the princess, took her hand, and led her into the factory. One thing's for sure, they knew each other. The factory'd been converted to a production line for Erusian drones. It was fully automated and chugging along, making drone after drone after drone. Once they got inside, the princess stopped and just stood there. Another girl was there with a man in a lab coat. He was trying to use his keyboard, but she wouldn't let him. She took a data chip and threw it on the ground. Then she walked over to us and took the gun from the prison guard's holster. She pulled the trigger and destroyed the chip. Later, I found out that the girl with the gun and the one with the stuffed animal were sisters. They were also the granddaughters of Mihai A. Shalaji, the legendary pilot. Gramps used to talk about him. He said Mihai was the top ace from 2 wars ago. Know any Belkins? Because this guy was a Belkin, and they love to stir shit up. Pitting nations against other nations is a particular favorite of theirs. along with developing hyper-advanced technology.
That's right. I'm Belkin, born and raised. My country is gone now. Rather than surrender to its enemy, Belka detonated 7 nuclear weapons on its own soil. My people scattered around the globe, living in the shadows of other countries. We had a new purpose: to breed wars. The theory was that through war, we could achieve our destiny and our revenge. I had just finished inputting Mihai's data when his granddaughter came in. She destroyed the only copy I had of the information I squeezed out of him. The girl loved Mihai. No one knew more than her just how hard I pushed her grandfather for that data, how much I made him sacrifice in the process. I promised his granddaughters that his efforts were not in vain, that it could end this terrible war. But in the end, it only caused more chaos and despair. We were responsible for all this damage, all this tragedy. Now, we were going to pay for it. The Erusians, once our allies, would see to that. I had lost the drive to continue my work, even before I noticed Mihai's granddaughters eyeing me with suspicion that one day. I should have stopped then, for all our sakes. Mihai's granddaughter tossed the gun aside. She said if she resorted to killing, she'd just end up like the rest of us. And by us, she meant everyone, including the princess. Like me, the princess was afraid to look into the girl's eyes. She knew that by encouraging her people, she kept the war going. Mihai and his granddaughter were victims of it, and now they too were paying the price.
Is this for Belka? Or for Erusea? My grandfather had only one wish: to continue soaring through the endless skies. That was the only place where he felt alive. But I don't even have a country to call home, let alone the sky. The Black Forest, the lake, they are no longer mine. Even though those lands were once cherished by my late mother. We have to learn to put that sense of nostalgia behind us and behave like mature adults.
My homeland. She's right. It feels so far away now. The woman with the rifle approached me. She was focused on more pressing issues.
I checked the computer. All of the data on the legendary Ace had already been installed.
No, I pulled it before it was completed. However, there are 2 aircraft that are already scheduled to be manufactured based on that data.
We must destroy the factory.
This isn't the only one. There are more facilities just like it, and the 2 planes containing the data will be manufactured at one of those facilities.
So, this place runs on solar power that the space elevator generates, right? How about the others? We can destroy the space elevator and cut the power to them. First things first, let's take this one out.
I'll show you which locations to target.
I stood there, thinking about that mural by the factory's entrance. Harling commissioned it to be painted. I realized that in the background, behind the dancing figures, the artist had painted several space elevators. I understand now. The space elevator wasn't designed to exploit Erusea after all.
Good. And afterwards, we'll bring down the space elevator itself. No matter why it was built, right now, it's the root of this chaos.
I wonder...
Yes?
I wonder which path you would choose when looking at Harling's mirror.
Let's get the briefing started.
We've done enough air operations. Just let us go home.
There's no path for us to get home. Whatever direction you fly, it'll be right into a hail of enemy fire. Earlier, we received a communication via the partially restored General Network. Here is what it contained. Apparently, the Erusian radicals have gathered around the space elevator, as it's a source of energy. Give the warmongers a powerful energy source, and you give them the luxury to keep on fighting. In response to this, people from both Osea and Erusia have joined forces, and will take down the final Arsenal bird in a saturation attack from the air and the sea. Once that's achieved, they'll take the space elevator from the aggressors.
Has the source been verified?
It could be fake. I hear you. Take a look at what's written at the end. Hey, dumbass. If you want to bring the world back from the brink, go to the lighthouse. You can see the future.
Dumbass?
Sounds familiar.
Certainly does. It's from those guys we met in Tyler Island, the 444 squad. It's a message to all those looking to end the war. But I also think it's a message for Trigger.
Guess we'll do what it says.
Okay. Well then, I'm thinking we go roast that damn bird.
Looks like we're all on the same page. It's time to end this war. Time to fly, guys. Let's go get that Arsenal bird.